Hello again, everybody. Welcome once more to Powerline Weekly Video Ministry. This is Richard Ike, and we're on episode number 174. And the title of today's message is The Female Champions of the Bible, Part 38. The Female Champions of the Bible, Part 38. And today's subject is The Mighty Bathsheba, Part 6. Again, got his numerals. Now, I have two addendums before I get into the message, short ones. The first, actually, they had to do with last week's message. First addendum, last week I talked about how I met an atheist, and I reflected on when I was an atheist, and how two types of atheists: the atheist by contention and atheist by convenience. And this particular atheist was an atheist by convenience, just as I was. We're not the God fighters, just comfortable being our own God. But what I forgot to mention back then, last week, was that I noticed that it seems atheists, even though they don't believe in God, they still have a fear of reference for Christ. The reason I say this is because when this lady was asking me a question concerning other religions, I kept referring back to what Christ said, that my position was based on what Christ said. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. But they kept going around it. They didn't want to go zero on what Christ said. And it hit me, it's like, it seems that even for an atheist, the subject of Christ is still uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable subject. So they're not as atheistic as they think they are. Because I've seen that before. I said, why do I keep going back to Christ, but they keep running away from it? It's like, this is what is basically asking them, do I think other religions are wrong? I said, well, this is what Christ said. He said, I'm the way, the truth, and life. No one comes to the Father but by me. So if other religions are right, then Christ was wrong. But if Christ is right, then all the religions are wrong. But he kept going back. What do I said, I just basically telling her, I'm taking the stand. I believe Christ. This is what he said. I believe him. This is the stand I'm taking. So I deferred it back to her. I was like, do you think he was wrong? She run away from that and just run to me. It's like, I don't want to deal with Christ. I've seen this before. I remember an old friend of mine, several years ago, when I had such a conversation with him. So I told him, hey, this is what Christ said. Do you believe he was telling the truth or was he lying? And he said, well, you can't really call him a liar. I thought, so he put you up in the corner. I said, so I started to realize that, even atheists, they have an aversion for Christ. You don't believe he exists, but you have an aversion for him. So they're not as atheistic as they think they are. Now, the second one is not really an addendum. It's so now omitted in the message. While I was giving the message, I forgot the name of Potiphar. I was going to mention Potiphar's wife, the one who falsely accused Joseph, had him thrown in prison. But I remember during the course of the message, I just didn't feel like bringing it up again. It's like I was so far gone in the message, and like, why haven't bothered bringing it up? Because the name just came to me, Potiphar. So, Potiphar's wife. Like, and so far gone in the message, why even bother? But anyway, now let me get into the message. Now, I left off in 2 Samuel chapter 12, after Nathan has showed up to drop the bombshell of divine judgment on David for what he had done. He had done it in secret. The prophet now told him that the consequences were going to come in the open. And that the child was going to die. So, David, and this was the last verse I mentioned. Okay, let me start from verse 13. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan said unto David, the Lord also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. Because according to the law, he was supposed to die. So God showed him mercy. However, in order for the law to be fulfilled, that life to be taken, and it was the life of the child. Howbeit, this is verse 14. Howbeit, because this deed thou hast, howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall die. So, on account of his action, the child was going to die. Why? He said, howbeit, because of this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme. And when I was ready, I said, the enemies of the Lord. I said, who knew about this except David and Bathsheba, and now the prophet? God had revealed to the prophet. It didn't say David's enemies. If not, they would have used it against him. It said the enemies of the Lord. This one is deep heavy. Who else will be the enemies of the Lord except Satan, the devil, and the kingdoms of darkness, who have been puppeteering the whole activity from the spiritual realm using a woman? Let me lay emphasis on this thing, because of something that happened recently. I didn't bother to click on the article, but I saw a picture of the article where devil worshippers were marching, wearing their black robes, marching to Capitol Hill to go do their ritual, whatever nonsense. When Donald Trump was elected, the Lord himself said to me, the Lord has entered the White House and he's not leaving. It's like you're trying to worship the Lord. This devil worship, they know that their master, Satan, with all the noise he makes, he still has to take permission from God Almighty before he can act. It's the book of Job. Satan could not touch Job unless God gave him permission and put perimeters around him. So if God hasn't given permission, nothing can happen. Nothing can touch Donald Trump. We're not talking about impeachment. That's going nowhere. I should have put, thus saith the Lord. That the impeachment was going nowhere. I wasn't worried. People say, impeachment. They were celebrating. Foolish liberals, they celebrate at the beginning of the race. Conservatives will celebrate at the end of the finish line. That's when we start celebrating. You start the race, impeachment, say, wait, the race just started. Wait till it's over. Get to the finish line. When I get to the finish, that's when we start celebrating. So we're at opposite ends. So they want to go and do their invocation and incantation. No, the Lord is in. Before Trump entered, they had the chance. Now the Lord is in. You can't unseat God. You can't remove God from the throne. When Trump entered, God has stepped in. Obama brought in Satan. When Donald Trump entered, he chased out Satan, brought back Jesus. So they're going to do and whatever incantation, waste of time. Trump doesn't even have competition. This old guy, this lunatic Bernie Sanders, or the dementia having Biden, he can't remember where he's going, messed up. I said, Donald Trump doesn't even have competition. It's a funny thing. It's like, why even bother have the election? It's just formalities. It's obvious Donald Trump is going to win, but he didn't win all 50 states. All 50 states might vote red, be a shocker of shockers. The way things are going with the Democrats. But when I saw the picture, they were all wearing black robes, but the one in front was different. The one in front was some voluptuous lady in a black gown, showing cleavage and showing her thigh, and then she had the black horn, a mask with black horns coming up to here. She was dressed different from the rest of it, like a seductive figure. It was like, and that was leading should I call the satanic army? The rest were black robes covered, lined up, climbing up the stairs. I said, why is that woman with that figure in front? It's a sign that this is the chief principle by which Satan brings down mankind to women. Since the days of the Garden of Eden, it was women that Satan brought down mankind. It was through Eve. Women, and God had been protecting and hiding women because you know that this is the vulnerability of humanity, the females. So as I sing this, I say, how Lord, this now you've been protecting women from day one. Now that they are crying out for equality, you must move away. You make things unequal in their favor, but they are crying out for equality. They couldn't see it. Even we couldn't see it. Now they're crying out for equality. You must equalize the playing field. Those days are gone because now I can see it. Protect systematically and strategically. Protect women, cover women, so you know that things are being caused by women. All of this trouble for David woman, Bathsheba. So that's why the line that those devil worshippers going on watching it. The one in front was some voluptuous female. She wasn't dressed in black robe cover. Gown showing her pie, showing her cleavage, wearing a mask with black horns, and there was a black dress, voluptuous figure, seductive figure, showing that this is a statement by which he takes down mankind through the females. And all of David's headache was to start with Bathsheba, a female. Just like the Lord Jesus, the Bible says he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. Satan is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His strategies have not changed. The same temptation he gave the Lord Jesus. And the three temptations that he gave the Lord Jesus is the same thing he's using. Tempted him with bread. If thou the Son of God, turn this stone to bread and eat. Appetite. All these kingdoms that you see here, and all the Bible said they showed him all the kingdoms of the earth and their glory. Say, all that you see here, that's what I give to you if you bow down and worship me. The Bible calls that the lusts of the eyes. And then he took him to a high mountain and told him, if you're the Son of God, jump off the building. And took him the highest place of the temple. Told him, the Son of God, jump off from the building, and the angels will catch you. Even quoted scripture. Because so that Lord Jesus was quoting scripture. So, okay, I can quote scripture. So let me switch to scripture mode. So that tells you all preachers do not belong to God. Satan knows scripture too. When the Lord Jesus told the parable of the wheat and the tears were not on the outside, they were on the inside. And they mimicked the wheat. When I saw a picture of tear and wheat, I didn't see the difference. It wasn't until the Bible said until when the blades sprouted and they brought forth fruit, their actions, then the tears revealed themselves. But from ordinary appearance, they look the same. So Satan has preachers too. If you're relying on how they preach, how well they know scripture, you'll be fooled by the devil. He knows scripture. He was there from the time it was written. It's the fruit, action. That's how you tell. So the same temptations that he used on the Lord Jesus, it wasn't even at the time he was using on the Lord Jesus, it was already old. He used that in the garden. The Bible said the things that we watch out for, the lust of the eyes, the things that in the world, the cravings of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Those are the targets. The cravings of the flesh, all these stones. If your Son of God, turn this stone to bread and eat. Cravings of the flesh. All these kingdoms that you see here, lust of the eyes. If you're the Son of God, jump off this building. And Lord showed me that there are people at the bottom, crowds gathered on the bottom. So want to put himself on display, vanity, pride, the pride of life. Show off so that the people can see. That's how he took them down. That's the hidden mystery of how he took down Adam and Eve. Because after he spoke, the Bible says she saw that the fruit was good to eat and pleasing to the eyes and desirable to make one wise. Those are the three areas they tempted the Lord Jesus. Good to eat. That's cravings of the flesh. Pleasing to the eye, loss of the eye. Desirable to make one wise, the pride of life. So by the time he was using it on the Lord Jesus, it was already old strategy. Since the days of the garden, he had been using it. Till this day, still using it. People who had entertainment who talk about how they sold their soul to the devil for wealth and fame. That was temptation number 2. All these kingdoms that you see, that's what I give to you. If you bow down and worship me, you worship, I'll give you this kingdom. So he's the same. Yeah, just Lord Jesus, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Satan is still the same yesterday, today, and forever. 3 areas. The cravings of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. They still the same targets using. So when I saw them, the devil was marching, and then this figure in front, they look different from the rest of them. Voluptuous female. Exposing, I say, it's the same ancient strategy. Hey, old, lust of the eyes, cravings of the flesh, pride of life. He hasn't changed. Same strategies. So that's the strategy he had used to take down David. By the time he got to the Son was so powerful, he needed 1,000 of them to take him down. 1,000 women that Solomon was happening. Not even his divine wisdom could protect him from all. I said, females, thermonuclear devices in human form. So Solomon had 1,000 thermonuclear devices in his house. Not even his divine wisdom could protect him from that. They were so powerful. His father David just dealt with one thermonuclear device, Bathsheba, blew him up. They saw him great and mighty as he was, Lord of God, build the temple. But he had what? 1,000 nuclear devices in form of females under his roof. They all detonated and finished the man. Okay. Get back in there. And for myself now. Howbeit, because by this day thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of the Lord to blaspheme him. So they are blaspheming God. Say, hi, look at the one you call your champion. Look at the one that you call the man after your heart. The one who wrote you the psalm. The one who ought to build your temple. He took another man's wife and had the man killed. Hey, oh, Satan will cause you to fall and then start raining accusations and raining condemnation on you when he himself is the one that caused you to fall. Say, go ahead, do it. Nobody's watching, take it. I want you to say, you're guilty, look at you, look at what you've done. But he's the one that tempted you. He's the one that caused the fall. The devil is a wicked devil. Verse 15. And Nathan departed into his house. And the Lord struck the child and Uriah's wife. And Nathan departed unto his house, and the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife brought unto David, and it was very sick. She was not called by name. Didn't call her Bathsheba. Called her Uriah's wife. That means David had been branded by this situation, because this stigma remained all the way until her name entered the registry of the Lord Jesus' genealogy. As she who had been Uriah's wife didn't even mention her name. So this thing was such a serious matter. Like branding a cow. David was branded by it. I can say this is the very thing that stopped God from having David build the temple. This thing. God, there's too much blood on his hand. He was a man of war. The law exempts you killing in the time of war or self-defense. So what is it? What is that blood? Innocent blood crying out against him. God told Cain after I killed Abel, the voice of thy brother's blood cries out unto me from the ground. So the voice of Uriah's blood was crying out. Innocent blood has a voice. Goes all to the book of Revelation when John saw the souls of the martyred saints crying out for the Lord, crying out unto the Lord from underneath the altar, crying out for vengeance. When will the avengers? When will the avengers? So innocent blood has a voice, it's crying out for vengeance. Only the blood of Jesus silences the voice of innocent blood. Only the blood of Jesus. So innocent blood is crying out against David. And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife brought unto David. Then called it Bathsheba. The child that Bathsheba brought to David said the child that Uriah's wife. That's how she was forever known. Uriah's wife. The man the champion of the Lord. The man who he slew the giant by the power of God Almighty. Paul was pursuing, he wrote under his affliction, he wrote the Psalms, the great Psalms. These Psalms were so moving. I had to mature in order to appreciate the Psalms, because in younger days, there's an aspect of the Bible that as you grow in faith, then you grow into it. And there was a time when I liked this Proverbs, but I didn't like the Psalms. But as I grew, as I matured, I started to accept the Psalm. So one time I got so deep immersed in the Psalm that I started to weep over David. Oh, David. And Lord ministered to me. Why are you crying over a person that died thousands of years ago? I said, because I know what he was going through. I could feel that Psalm I was reading. I could feel it. I said, David. Why are you crying over someone that died? Minister to me. Why are you crying over someone that died thousands of years ago? That was David. Phase 2. There are 3 phases of David. Phase 1 was David when he slew Goliath. That was introduction. Phase 2 of David was when the years when Saul was pursuing him. That's the years when the years that out of his soul he birthed the Psalms. Phase 3 was David the king. I don't really like that David the king. Honestly, I don't really like. From this point on, I And then like that David. Like David, that slew Goliath. David that ran from Saul. That was the man of character, man of stature. This David, I don't really like him. No. God loved him still, but me, I'm reading his side. David, I liked you before. I'm not like you anymore. Be careful when God gives you out and brings you to a place of establishment and prestige. You must start playing God. That's what's happening, David. God had given him rest. The Apostle Paul said we should labor to enter into God's rest. The Bible said God gave him rest among of his enemies around him. So he had labored and entered into God's rest. He started playing God. He forgot where he came from. The Ephraim and Manasseh effect. Ephraim and Manasseh syndrome took effect. That's why Joseph named his children Ephraim and Manasseh. The older one meant the Lord has caused me to forget my sorrows. And I said that the younger one meant the Lord has caused me to prosper in the land of my affliction. And when it came time for Jacob, the father, to bless, because Jacob, even though Joseph, physically, he was of greater authority than his father. He was second in command, like vice president, prime minister of Egypt. Spiritually, his father was superior to him. His father was the authority, the sovereign authority. If not, it would have been Joseph blessing his father. But his father had to bless him because his father was the one of the authority. So when he presented his children, Jacob now, by the eyes of revelation, said there was something wrong here. I have to set things in order because whatever he releases is going to lay the foundation of how things are going to go from that moment on. So he switched his hand to bless them. Joseph tried to interrupt and said, nah, leave it. I know what I'm doing. So he blessed them. Why? Because they saw that the names were opposite. He named his children wrong. The older one should have been named, the Lord has caused me to prosper in the land of my affliction. And the younger one should have been named, the Lord has caused me to forget my sorrows. Why? Because God prospers you first before you forget your sorrows. You don't forget your sorrows first, then you get God prospers you. It's the other way around. So he had to switch his hand to set things in order. Just as hands were switched to bless him, the blessing that was supposed to go to his older brother came to him. Now he's passing it down. The lightning bolt of blessing that he had received from his father Isaac, who received that lightning bolt of blessing from Abraham, who received that lightning bolt of blessing directly from God, he was now passing it down to his children. And he said he made Ephraim and Manasseh equal to their father. The mystery of that are not fully understood. Why he did that? So he made Ephraim and Manasseh equal to their father. Saying, okay. It's another, because these men, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, these men were the giant foundations of the faith, the giants, spiritual giants, laid the foundation for everything else that came after. So there are certain mysteries of these men that I'm still trying to understand. God hasn't revealed it yet, but I just saw it in the due time. Revelations for an appointed time. That's what God told it was Daniel. So when due time, God will reveal these mysteries. So, this thing, why is he making them equal with their father? I don't understand it. But what will happen when that thing kicks in? People will see the sons and will have the same reverence for the son that they have for the father and won't understand what's happening, what's going on. Even the sons will speak with wisdom as though they're older men. Say, how old are you? I'm 7. You sound like you're 70 years old. Why can you be so wise and you're just 7 years old? You sound like a 70-year-old man. Because the lightning bolt of blessing that was passed down from 3 generations before had landed on them and now do mysterious things. I've seen children who have received blessing from spiritual authorities. They are different. So speak blessing unto your children. Speak blessing unto your children. They believe, especially now that the forces of darkness are after the children. Confirmed by a message. I'm listening to this old preacher, Lester Sumrall. I used to hear this preacher in the past talking about him, and that was before my time. So I was curious. I want to go listen to his message. It's hard. Man, the guy is heavy. Man, it's like hard. You can't really preach like that any longer. It's too heavy and strong. Yeah, I listened to him last shot. I said, hey, this guy is too strong for me. But it says Satan, he goes after the weakest one, and the weakest one are the children. He was talking about stuff that happened back in the 80s. So the plans have been there for the plans of the enemy. He's a long-term strategist. The church is not. So that's why the church is vulnerable to him. Because he's planning for the children. I've seen the plans he's making for the children. They are wondering why the young people now are into communism. Communism. It was planned. That's why the liberals took over the schools to program the children. And Lord, open my eyes to see that the same thing was happening in Nazi Germany. How Adolf Hitler rose. The people were consumed by, okay, going to work, going to school, running their business, making money, new opportunity, new house to buy, new car to buy. And this man, Adolf Hitler, he stole the hearts of the youth, the young ones. And I start wondering, why are children behaving this way? What is this brown shirt thing? No, why they are attacking adults, grown people? He started with the children. He took the minds of the children. It's the same strategy. While they are busy, next thing you know, Adolf Hitler had risen up. He was now in power. He's now ruling them. That's how it happens. The same thing happens now. People go business, work, school, making more money, buy a new house, buy a new car, all this stuff. And then this satanic force operating in the liberal world. I said it before that. I've been saying it. Satan is the god of the Democrat Party. And they proved me right. Everything that hell stands for, they support. When I saw the last final blow, when I saw image of the pro-lifers around Planned Parenthood, and there was a counter-protest of devil worshippers screaming, "Hail Satan!" They were the pro-abortionists screaming, "Hail Satan!" That confirms it. We already know they are liberals, but it confirms what I've been saying, that the God of the Democratic Party is Satan. The pro-abortionists were screaming, "Hail Satan!" to counter the protest of pro-lifers. So that means this abortion, Planned Parenthood, nothing but satanic temples where they offer of sacrifices unto the devil. Hi. Oh. We're going back. Just as the people in Germany, they were consumed by the daily activities of life, while this man, this monster Adolf Hitler was rising. That's what's happening now. Parents are consumed by the activities. They brainwashed the children, stole their minds. Now they have gone after communism. But that's the youth. The children is another dimension of diabolism going on. They are now initiating them into occultism. It's coming through the cartoons. It's coming through the schools. They have books for children on demons, not make-believe demons, real demons with the real name. One of them is called Baphomet and Friend. Baphomet is Satan, the devil himself. And making them cartoon characters with real incantations and all this stuff. Children, that's what this whole transgender story hour is about. Initiating them secretly into devil worship, because the image of the devil that the Satanists use, Baphomet, is a transgender. When they made the image of the devil, the Arkansas, what state it is, they made it a male, but the real image of Baphomet is a transgender. Female breast and male genital with goat head and goat legs. And then the statue, what did they have next to him? 2 children. So I remember Lester Sumrall's message. This was like in the 80s. He was saying 80s that Satan, he looked for the weakness. The children are the weakness. And he was talking about all these things. This movie was talking about the Exorcist. It was a child. E.T. It was the alien found a child. Satan's always looking for the children. In the movie Exorcist, the girl was a child that got possessed. In E.T., alien entities, those who are demonic, he even knew that these aliens are demonic entities. So they went and came for a child, looking for access to humanity's children. I said, the man spoke it. This was in the 80s. Today I'm seeing it. They are invading the children to demonize the children. Think of these things. And people are not even aware till it hits. When they grow up, I was asking, why are so many children involved in devil worship? Why are so many children involved in occultism? It will be a collective thing. It will be like a network. Why? It was strategized. The people were distracted. Their parents were distracted. Pursuing career, pursuing a job, and no school, and pursuing money, and no new house, new car, new one. Why what's part of the children, the parents taking their children to this thing? They are submitting they're offering the minds of their children as sacrifice upon Satan's altars. This transgender story, they are initiating, preparing them to receive Baphomet. The image of Baphomet, when the devil worship come out, no longer in hiding, come out. They will now have sweet memories when they see the image. They will remind them of those nice drag queens and transgender story hour. I look how they say, the parents don't even know what's coming. They don't see what's coming. They are satanizing a young generation that will grow up, and the demonic world will be just normal to them. Occultism will just be normal. So it will now come out into the open. They wonder, how did it happen? Right now they wonder how the children, How is there so many young people into communism? You are being distracted while your children's minds are being stolen in school. Oh, and the next one will be, how come so many of our now these are children are to occultism, devil worshipping everywhere? But you are being distracted while their minds were being stolen. You even participated. You took your children to transgender study hours, submitted their minds upon as sacrifice upon the satanic altars. Now is the consequence. Hey, oh, have mercy. Hey. Let me get back into the message. Am I good? Okay. Now, from this moment on, David's behavior was going to change, and it's very significant because the chain reactions of things that began to happen, or because of this is change in behavior, or the events that happen were chain reactions as a result of his change in behavior. See, when you have foreknowledge of certain things, there are certain ways you react or not react under certain circumstances. If you know that a situation is being set up, there are certain reactions you won't take. People who don't know will expect you to react one way, and you don't. But you know what's going on behind the scene, so you don't react the way other people react. They will misinterpret your action because they don't know. But you know something that they don't know. So in this case, it was obvious because David became sort of odd. His reaction became odd. And I explained his own reaction. He knew the sword had gone to work against him. So he wasn't reacting the way he used to react before. So he was mistaken for weakness, especially by his son Absalom. Because his son Absalom should have feared his father. His father was a fearsome man. David had this duality to him. It could be gracious and it could be merciless. Lamb and lion. The same thing as the Lord Jesus is both the Lamb of God and the Lion of the tribe of Judah. You read in the New Testament, you see the lamb. If you don't read the Revelation, you don't have a balanced equation. When you read Revelation, you see that he was also a lion. The same God who came in the gospel, laying down his life. In the book of Revelation, he slew all his enemies. You say, is it the same Jesus in the gospel? He's the same one. It's just duality. When John spoke, John in heaven before the 24 elders, he saw the scroll that no one could open in heaven on earth or beneath the earth. He started to cry, and one of the elders came and told him not to weep. That the Lion of the tribe of Judah has prevailed. That he will open the seal. When he looked to see the lion, he saw a lamb that looked like it was slain. He didn't ask, "Where is the lion?" No, I see it's a lamb. He knew that the same lamb was looking at was a lion. But people, Christians, they don't know that the same lamb is also a lion. In the West, he's known as a lamb. In Africa, he's known as a lion. But ironically, the dispositions of the Christians are different. Here in the West, even though the Lord Jesus is known as a lamb, the Christians in the West act like they take on his lion side. In Africa, the Lord Jesus is known as a lion. But the Christians in places like Africa, they act like lambs. Here in the West, if terrorists try to attack, the Christians will kill the terrorists. In Africa, terrorists try to attack, they lay down their life. Give us. If the Lord doesn't defend, they won't defend. So they worship the Lord Jesus, who is a lion, as a lion. But they act like lambs. Here in America, they worship the Lord Jesus as a lamb. But the Christians act like lions. The terrorists come to shoot up, they shoot the terrorists, problem solved. Africa, terrorists come to shoot, hey, Lord save us, everybody die. But they worship the Lord Jesus as a lion. Guys who drive out any demonic force, any break, miracle, all that stuff. But they act like lambs, and the Lord Jesus is a lion. Well, here, you don't see the power and all this you see in Africa. But the Christians in America, Christians, they are lions. You don't mess with them. What they say, hey, they're armed in their church. Any terrorist come, they will shoot the terrorist, is dead. Period, point blank. Problem solved. But they worship Lord Jesus as a lamb. So, kind of ironic. Anyway, so from here on, David's character changes. He starts acting different. We'll see the first display because he knew something. It was something between him, Bathsheba, and the prophet. He knew this thing, but they didn't know. But it was cost him later because it made him start to appear weak. Because once you've been seen as strong, and all of a sudden people start to perceive you as weak, they will feel like there's just something in them that's trying to challenge you to defeat you, not to establish themselves. If they never saw you display strength, they never saw you as being strong, they won't even bother with you. But once you put on strength on display, whether purposely or purposely, and you start acting different, and they don't perceive you as weak, so they want to challenge you. That's what happened with Absalom. Because David was to change from here. Stand back, God. All right, let me do this then quickly. 5 minutes. David his behavior changed from here because when the death sentence, the child fell sick, he went to go and fast, and he refused. He just laid down, in the presence of God. He refused to eat and all stuff, and then he said no. And the 7th day, the child died, and the servants were afraid to tell him. So he heard them whispering, "Say, is the child dead?" He said, "Yes, dead." He got up, took a bath, or anointed himself, and went in the house of the Lord, worshipped, and sat downside to eat. They said, "You're acting kind of strange all this time. When the child was sick, you were sorrowful. No, now the child is dead." They thought he was going to start crying. Instead, he did the opposite. He just got up. Okay, case closed. Wash, all that stuff. Just acting normal. He was behaving strange. He said when the child was sick, he had a chance. But now the child is dead. What's he going to do? Say the child can't come to him, but he can go to the child. Back to business. So his odd behaviors began then, but he knew something that they didn't know. He knew this was the work of the sword, which the prophet Nathan had declared. Now, what the events that followed after that, it showed how David now having success externally, but trouble internally. The enemy that is on the inside is also an enemy on the outside. Some people can be having success externally, but internally they're having crisis. That was going to be David's story. Externally, he's having success. Joab came to bring him news that they are conquered. They see that he should come out and do the victory walk match and all that stuff. He was having external success, whereas at home he was having trouble. That was just the beginning of his troubles. Because the next verse, chapter 13, the sword really went to work. Amnon, his son, raped David's daughter Tamar. They were half siblings, and that was the sister of Absalom, same mother, same father. Amnon and Tamar, same father, different mothers. But Tamar and Absalom, same mother, same father. And that, because David did not handle that situation, Absalom got angry and killed Amnon. Why didn't David handle that situation? Because it was the work of the sword. He knew it was the work of the sword, so he didn't react. But in Absalom's mind, it's like he was being unjust or being weak. But David is like, knew it was the work of the sword. So his odd behaviors began from that point. And then, when Absalom fled, they convinced David to bring him back out of exile. Absalom came. David didn't take any precautions, just like, I don't want to see him. Then Absalom began to plot. Now, sensing the father is weak, has grown weak, now start to plot against his father to take his kingdom. Because now saying the father has grown weak. Father used to be a tough guy, so he's grown weak, but didn't understand. David knew something that they didn't know. He knew the sword was working against him. And then when they was time to fight battle against Absalom's people, when David was escaping, a guy, I think his name was Shemaiah, was throwing stones at him. His men actually, we go and kill him, we go and slay the man. He said, no, leave him, no, maybe God will see my affliction, I feel sorry for him. People wondered, what's wrong with David? In the past, he himself would have gone and killed that man. He was saying, one of us go and kill this guy. He said something's wrong, but they didn't understand David's unusual reaction, because he knew something that they didn't know. So he knew the sword was working against him. He would remember the words of the prophet. He knew the sword was working against him. So he wasn't reacting like he used to react before. So certain things, when certain things are happening, if you have full knowledge, there are certain ways that other people will react, but you will not react. It's when you do the but you stay cool, calm, and collected. They wonder why. This guy is weak. They don't know. No, because you know the situation is being manipulated or something going on behind the scene. So your reaction will be different. Others who don't know, and by that they might even get themselves into some serious trouble, harmed, or even killed because they didn't assess the situation properly. But David, his reaction was different because he knew what was happening behind the scene. When they were going to fight Absalom's army, he told them, don't kill him. But they disobeyed and killed Absalom. And he started to cry. They didn't understand. What's wrong? You love your enemies better than us? They didn't understand. David knew it was the work of the sword. He will remember the words of the prophet. This sword shall never depart from your house. So they don't understand his strategy. Just be acting odd and odd and odd. That's what happened. Even all the way when Simei, after that situation, Zimri, Sheba, the son of Zikri, rose up. All that. So it's the assassin witness because of his reaction. But here he's remembering the sword because of his sin. His sin was following him. That sin of stealing another man's wife and having the man killed. That sin was following him. The sword that was pursuing him till the day he died. Satan didn't leave that man alone. Trouble. He went from rest that God had given him, that he labored into, became restless rest of his life. But I'm about to run out of time. I'll save that for the next message. The next message now come to when Bathsheba's speaking role, when she actually spoke. All this time she had been a non-speaking role. In movies you have speaking role and non-speaking roles. Now enter Bathsheba's speaking role. That's the time when David is about to die. And now the solution that was produced, which was Solomon, now comes into play. And that's when I discovered Solomon already had wisdom before I encountered God. God just magnified the wisdom. But that's for next message. Now, that's my closing prayer. Oh, great God, Almighty King Jehovah, I thank you for the word that has come forth. And as always, let it be a good seed planted on good soil. And let it bring forth fruit. And let the fruit remain. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Blessed be God now forevermore. Amen. I love you. God just loves you. I'll see you next week.